A new lawsuit claims that staff on a Royal Caribbean cruise ship served a passenger 33 drinks in just a matter of hours. The family of 35-year-old Michael Virgil accuses the company of negligence. Virgil boarded a ship to Mexico last year with his fiancée and 7-year-old son. The family says during the cruise, he was tackled by security and given medication. He later died on the ship. CBS News correspondent Cristian Benevides has the details of the lawsuit.
One of the world's biggest cruise lines is facing new allegations of negligence. In a new lawsuit, the family of Michael Virgil, who died on board a Royal Caribbean ship last December, alleges the cruise served him at least 33 alcoholic beverages while the family was waiting for their room to be ready. Kevin Haynes represents Virgil's family.
It stands to reason that he was demonstrably and obviously intoxicated, and yet Royal Caribbean kept pouring the drinks.
According to the lawsuit, Virgil then tried to find his fiancée and their 7-year-old son while intoxicated, but got lost and became agitated. The family claims cruise security tackled him to the ground, stood on his body with full body weight, administered a sedative, and used multiple cans of pepper spray to subdue him. Virgil died hours later. An autopsy determined his death was a homicide, due in part to mechanical asphyxia and alcohol intoxication.
So it never should have gotten to the point where he was so intoxicated that he was wandering around the vessel looking for his family. In fact, his family has consistently said since day one, this is very out of character for him. They refer to him as the gentle giant in his household.
In a statement, Royal Caribbean said, "We were saddened by the passing of one of our guests, worked with authorities on their investigation, and will refrain from commenting any further pending litigation." Maritime attorney Michael Winkleman.
Of course, every single passenger that goes on there also has a duty to drink responsibility, so that cuts both ways. But assuming this gentleman was served 33 drinks in a period of a couple hours, that's in dramatic derivation of well-established protocols across the cruise ship industry.
Cristian Benevides, CBS News.
All right, I want to bring in cruise expert Stewart Chiron. Stewart, thank you so much for being with us. First off, can you give us an idea of how these cruise drink packages work?
Well, it's important to understand these cruise packages are not to the benefit of the cruise lines. It was supposed to be a convenience for cruise passengers in that the passengers could, drink, whether it's a soda, water, an orange juice, a coffee, or an alcoholic drink, and not have to, get charged on every single one. There are certain cruise lines, they have limits on how many you can drink. There are precautions or limits on how many you can drink in a certain period. You can't buy a drink, for multiple people. They're for you and you alone. And the reality of, 33, the timelines in this event don't make a whole lot of sense. They said they boarded. He was waiting at about 10:30 in the morning. Typically, boarding is around 11 o'clock in the morning. But there are precautions. You can't buy so many drinks in such a short period of time. And if this passenger was becoming so unruly, while the ship was in port, they would have brought local law enforcement on board. There's a lot that just doesn't make sense. But as far as the drink packages, it's important to know that they do have limits. There are guidelines, and it's almost impossible to get, let's say, a few drinks within an hour period, because there's other people that the crew have to serve, and they're trained to look at and see what passengers are doing, behavior. There's a lot of issues that are set to be raised with this.
You brought up a great point, because there are thousands of people on board some of these ships. How is staff supposed to monitor them and then give a cutoff when they feel like a passenger has too many? How are they supposed to monitor that?
Well, that's a good point, but consider 10:30, 11, even 11:30 in the morning. It's early. People are just getting on board the ship. If their room wasn't ready, passengers typically would, head up to let's say the buffet. They're exploring the ship. They're not sitting in any one area. But keep in mind, the cruise lines know exactly what you did, and they know exactly when you did it. There's video, there's accountability. They know exactly who is charged, because he would have had to give the card. 33 drinks in a short period of time. It's just impossible. There's a lot of questions about the loopholes, but as far as using these plans, the staffs are very well trained. They've got very good procedures in order to deal with the serving of alcohol. And the last thing the cruise lines want to do is overserve anybody.
Now,
Because
I was just going to say, speaking of those procedures, what is the protocol when somebody starts to get rowdy on one of these cruises? You know, it's probably happened in the past. From how
Sure.
it was described, do you believe that staff did follow protocol?
Well, I find it hard to believe that 33 drinks were served within a very short period of time, even within a couple of hours. It just doesn't make sense. And then the passenger, started to go in and attack different crew members and one of them had to lock himself. We've seen videos of one of the crew members, having to hide in one of the linen closets. But it's just, the different aspects of what occurred it just doesn't make sense. The safety of the passengers is paramount. When you're going on vacation, these are floating resorts. It's just as if you were at a hotel, but they're even more careful. But on a ship, they can see, what everybody is doing. They know where passengers are going, and they're going to do everything they can to ensure people are safe. And there's a lot more to this story.
Stewart Chiron, thank you so much.
My pleasure.